Thank you, Tony. Thank you, John, for the opportunity to come here. Good morning, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. Buongiorno. Kalimera. Ohayo gozaimasu. Ni hao. If I missed a language or two, I hope you're all well. Mindfulness meditation. We're going to do a brief mindfulness meditation this morning. Mindfulness meditation, of course, is at the heart of a Buddhist meditation. And I think it's fitting to come together this morning in mindfulness, in a Buddhist tradition, because Reiki, of course, has its roots in the Buddhist tradition, with the teachings and the beautiful compassionate work of the Venerable Dr. Uzui. I think it's fitting. Buddhism is not a religion. It's first and foremost a way of life. Life in all its fullness. You know, the word Buddha, Buddhaya, means alive, awakened to life, the compassionate life. And life is a gift, a beautiful gift. It's a gift that we can also give to all sentient beings. Life is the greatest gift. And as healers, we have that opportunity to give that gift to others. And this morning, I want to lead you through the gift of mindfulness. Well, it's a buzzword. It's a real buzzword, mindfulness. It's something, sort of bantered around the traps a bit now. And that's good. That's good. But what is mindfulness? How many explanations to what mindfulness is? But very basically, mindfulness is being able to be at that intersection, the intersection of the present moment where the past, the present, and the future meet in one, and being totally open to all the experiences in that moment. That's mindfulness. Mindfulness is not about emptying our minds of thoughts, because that would be like emptying the world of people. We don't want to do that. They're valuable. The mind's not our enemy. It's not our friend either. It just is there. And so it's not about emptying our mind of thoughts. It's also not about controlling our mind. Control's an illusion. Let's not get into control. It's an illusion. It's not about controlling. It's not about putting our minds asleep, because the minds don't sleep. We think they're asleep, but they're there with one eye open all the time. So it's not about that either. What it's about is about being present to all the experience that's happening. And I'll guide you through that this morning. And I don't have a lot of time, but we'll do that. So I invite you just to become comfortable. If you've got a pad on your lap, just put that down under your seat, and you don't have to sit up on the seat cross-legged or in a lotus position. That could be a little difficult and uncomfortable. But if you wish to, that's fine too. And I invite you to start this mindfulness exercise. It's more of an exercise rather than a meditation, with your eyes open to start with. And I invite you to choose a spot, a focus that you can just focus on for a few moments. Preferably not me. I get nervous when a few hundred people are all staring at me. As you look at that focal point that you're looking at the moment, I invite you to observe it carefully. Its colour, its shape, its form, where it begins, where it ends, the way the light falls upon it. Are there shadows? Its texture. Look at it with curiosity. Wonder just for a few moments how it got there. Don't wonder for too much. And look at its colour and shape again. Notice what you can hear, the sounds that you can hear. There may be very subtle sounds. Can you hear sounds in the distance? Notice what you can feel. The pressure of your body on the seat. Your feet on the ground. Notice that your feet perhaps don't completely touch the ground. There may be points where they sort of rise up. Notice when you're seated, what part of your bottom actually sits on the seat. Is there more pressure on the left or the right? Notice the room temperature, the temperature against your skin. Notice what you can sense with your nose. Any scent or aroma. What you can taste in your mouth. Is it bitter? Sweet? Bland? I invite you now to gently close your eyes, if you wish, if you feel comfortable. I invite you now to notice your breath, but to notice it in a new way, like a curious scientist who's never encountered breathing before. Wow, what is this thing? Notice that when you breathe in, the air is sucked up the two holes at the bottom of the nose. Follow it. Follow it as it goes through the throat, larynx, into the lungs, and back out again. Watch it with curiosity. Notice that when you breathe in, the lungs expand slightly. When you breathe out, they contract. Do you notice that when you breathe in, just a little bit, the stomach expands and relaxes again, slightly? When you breathe out, do you notice that you don't have to remember to breathe in again? Well, that's useful. It all happens automatically. Breathe in, watch for breath, breathe out. Now, if you can notice your breathing, you can't be your breathing. You see, breathing changes. Sometimes when we're going up the stairs, it's more rapid. Running to catch the train, it's rapid. As you're seated here, it's soft and gentle. But the part of you that notices it never changes, it just is. And that gets us sort of analysing and debating. So just take a moment to notice where your thoughts are. Just watch your thoughts coming and going like cars passing along the house outside the house or apartment where you live. Oh, there goes a thought. Watch it. And hang on to it. Let it go. Watch it go by. Another thought. Same thing. Let it go. The thought might be an image. Might be some internal words. Oh, there comes another one. Let it go. Now bring your attention back to your breathing again. Watch your breath now. Breathe in, out. Watch it as it goes through the nose, down into the lungs and back out. There's nothing more present than breathing. If we're not breathing, we're past. Now we're right in the present, we're breathing. I invite you to now scan your heart-mind. Your heart-mind as to the reasons why you came here today. What brought you here? What was so important for you to be here? What are the values that you hold that are so precious for you to give up your time, money, effort to be here? Is it about health? Is it about well-being? Is it about spirituality? What is it? Take a few moments to focus on that. And of course, you didn't just appear here at the click of a finger. You had to do things to come here. You had to organize your time, schedule. You had to, perhaps some of you, take public transport. You had to pay some hard-earned cash to get here. Doing all types of things. And here you are, right now, doing this exercise, perhaps not even knowing where it's taking you. But you're doing it because you believe in what you're here for. I invite you now to undergo a challenge. Here's the challenge. To see if you can keep your mind on your breathing and totally on your breath for the next 5 minutes. Now, that could be a challenge because the mind may want to pull you into its story. That's what minds do. That's okay. Just notice what tries to grab your attention and bring your focus back to your breathing. Time and time again, your mind may succeed in distracting you. Again, it's normal. It's what minds do. They're like storytellers. Every storyteller needs an audience. So the mind wants to grab your attention. It's okay. Just let it talk on like a background radio or TV while you concentrate on noticing your breathing. Just notice your breath. Breathe in, breathe out, be present. You know, not even the great Zen masters are able to empty their minds of every single thought for a long period. I invite you now to scan your whole body from your head to your toes. And as you scan your body from your head to your toes, notice any sensation, feeling. Might be a sensation of an ache or a discomfort. Maybe a feeling of boredom, anxiety. Might be a feeling of calm and peace. See if you can locate a sensation or feeling. And as you do that, just stay with it. There's no need to want to change it. You may not like it. You may not even want it. Just let it be. Give it space. Breathe in, breathe around it. If it's a pleasant sensation, just let it be there. This is not an exercise in relaxation. It's an exercise in just allowing to be whatever is there without needing to change it, to alter it. Just let it be there. Staying present to that feeling. Life is like a stage show. And on the stage of your life, perhaps right now, is that feeling taking center stage. And like a stage show, at the end of the performance, the lights come back on again. And you can see on the stage all the actors, all the parts of your life, all the opportunities. And as the lights come on, we turn around and, oh, there are people with us in the audience. All those opportunities that lay waiting for us. And we can observe this and know that there's a part of us that notices. Is it good? Is it bad? Or is it just there? Take a moment to gradually breathe in deeper, opening your eyes and having a bit of a stretch. Nice stretch. But as you do that, notice what muscles you're using as you're stretching. Notice what you're thinking as you're stretching. Notice that there's a part of you that can notice everything that's going on about you. Hey, is it good? It's good? Yeah. I usually, when I run international retreats, I usually have a Mars bar with me because there's a little prize now, but I don't have a Mars bar today, I didn't buy one. But the prize is a little question. There was always a test, isn't there? Can anyone answer this question? Does anyone do search engine optimization here? SEO work, keywords, all that sort of stuff? Anyone? No? Oh yeah, hand up here. Okay, keywords. What do you think was the key word of that, that whole meditation exercise? Anyone? No? It came up over and over again. Right back there? Sorry? I didn't get that. Anyone else like to have a go? Notice. 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 Notice with curiosity. You see, when we notice, oh, look, see, present moment. When we notice, we are in the present. We're focused. We're curious. We're open. So it's a very key word there, to be present and open and noticing. Actually, in that meditation, there were 6 core principles. I won't go through it, but if anyone wants to do come along and do some mindfulness training, I'm available and I can talk to you later. There's a little ad, threw in an ad there. But there are 6 core principles of mindfulness. Being present. Opening up, accepting the thoughts and the feelings that go past. Diffusion. Diffusing from our thoughts, not being fused with them. When we're fused with our thoughts and feelings, we become like metal stuck together. The ability to observe, of course, is very important. But I think values, so important. And taking some commitment on those values. So throughout the conference, we're going to be practicing those skills of being present in the present moment, taking time to be respectful, taking time to give compassion and be in that space that this great opportunity, this great gift today gives us, and we can rejoice in that gift. Tomorrow, I'm going to tell you more about the gift and how you can hold that gift every day, every moment, every second, and how to be able to give it out. So, thank you for your attention. Yesterday was a wonderful day. I think we all agree with that. We all received, I think, some beautiful gifts. The gift of teaching, the gift of companionship, many, many beautiful gifts. So what I want to do this morning is lead us into a meditation about the gift. Of course, when we receive a gift, we normally say, thank you, gratitude. In Chinese Buddhism, we have a word for gratitude, gan-en. A gan-en is not a gratitude of, oh, thank you, it was your job, thanks very much. It's a gratitude that wells up from the heart and overflows, so that it is an energy that turns into something that we're able to give out. I like those hands. The receiving and the giving. All meditation, I believe, must lead to the joy of gratitude. You see, for Buddha, most spiritual teachers came into the world not to give us some type of mental exercise to fill in the time, but to give us joy, life to the fullest, so that we might be grateful and give that out. A cycle. The gift. The gift. A gift comes in 2 parts. Obviously, for receiving, person that receives the gift, and a person gives the gift. So there's the giver and the receiver. And at the same time, at that intersection, we are both giver and receiver. We cannot give without receiving. We cannot receive without giving. And in Chinese Buddhism, the two come together to one, to unity. And that is the gift of life. But there's one obstruction to that. I'll talk about that in just a moment. Then I'll lead you into a meditation. I belonged to a tradition called the Pure Land esoteric tradition. And one day a journalist came to me from the South China Post and said, Master, you've learnt the esoteric traditions. What would you say was the greatest secret you've ever been taught? And I said to him, the greatest secret, and I'll share it with you this morning, but it's not really a secret. I think someone mentioned it about secrets yesterday. And that secret, when we're ready to receive it, is to see the gift in all things. And if you can do that, receive a gift and be able to give the gift in all circumstances, then you will receive great joy. Money back guaranteed. But it's difficult. It's difficult. It's not easy. It's a difficult teaching and it's a difficult training because it's not always easy to see the gift in things when things are going hard for us. As a monk, I was constantly under surveillance by the Chinese Internal Ministry of Security and the Security Bureau. As normal. I was a Westerner, a monk in mainland China. And one day I was taken away and placed in a locked room for a day, in detention, without my mobile phone and without food for a long period of time. I could have been quite anxious about that, but you know, it was quite good, because people left me alone, had no phone calls for an entire day. I could meditate for an entire day. What a gift! And it made all the difference. That's another story, perhaps, for another time. In our esoteric practice, or in our Pure Land practice, rather, we had a practice called inner looking, and I'm going to take you through a meditation this morning of inner looking, called Niguan, or in Japanese, Naikan. And in this meditation, we're going to look at three strategic questions. Now, strategic. The first question is to examine in ourselves what we have received today. Now, today's pretty early and pretty young, so, you know, you've only just started. But you might want to reflect on yesterday. What have you received? And when we think on this question, we don't worry about the motivation, because you may have received lunch yesterday and think, oh, well, that's the job of the organisers. It's irrelevant. You received it. Look for the small things that we receive. A smile, a compliment. It can be many things that we receive. Look for the gift and you will find it. What have I received today? The second of the strategic questions is, what have I given? Many people find that very difficult, but you do give. We give in many different ways. You may have got up this morning and fed the cat. Oh, big deal. I've got to feed the cat every morning, you might say. But no, you did it. Or the fish, or whatever. You did it. The motivation's not important here. It's the doing. You gave. So when we go into the meditation, look carefully for those little gems, those little stones in sifting the sand, sifting for the gifts of receiving and giving. Now, there's just one obstruction to that whole process, and that's the third of those three strategic questions. And that is, for problems and difficulties that we cause. What problems and difficulties have I caused? Now that raises a lot of sort of angst in people, I know, because it raises a sense of guilt. But you know, in Buddhism, there's no word for guilt. In Chinese Buddhism, we had no word for it. In Tibetan Buddhism, there's no word at all for guilt. In everyday Chinese language there's a word, but not in Chinese Buddhist language. But there's a word integrity, reaching our full potential, awakened people with gratitude. And what obstructs that? Do you know that right at this moment we're causing problems? What problems and difficulties are we causing? Well, I'll give an example, a very quick example. Excuse me. We're using electricity, we're using lights. And so that's a problem. Someone has to work that out. Someone has to consider it and give us the electricity. And so we're grateful for that. So let's take a moment to close our eyes, get relaxed. Follow your breath. Watch your breathing. Like we did yesterday. Breathe in. Breathe out. Any thoughts come along, just let them go. Notice them, let them go. Take a moment to reflect on what you have received and be grateful. Maybe a material gift. It may have been a compliment, a smile, encouragement. It may have been a teaching. It may have been a little space of peace and understanding. A connection. Sift and find. Take a moment to reflect on what you have given yesterday, this morning. Very simple. Did you give a greeting of good morning? Did you smile? Did you encourage someone? Pat someone on the shoulder? Hug? Bring a cup of coffee? Don't judge. Just look for the gems. Take a moment to look at what problems and difficulties have you caused? Have we been irritable? Angry? It's not about being guilty. It's simply reaching our full integrity of knowing the beauty inside of us and leaving space for the gift to flower, so that in Reiki we may gift that gift to all sentient beings in peace, love, and harmony. Be grateful. Bring joy into your hearts and those of others. 阿弥陀佛。